tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Long weekend. Everybody's a little hungover from the weekend.
A little bit.
Got that weekend hangover. Everybody's like, push the button, Mom. Push the button.
We were only like 45 seconds late.
Just, like not even a minute. So we're good. Okay, coming up on the show. You guys ready for the show today? It's going to be a long show.
It's going to be a long show.
Mock has promised me it's going to be a long show. Gold Star families obliterate Kamala. Princess Panderpants introduces a brand new accent, you guys. Also, 6 hostages are executed by Hamas, and Biden blames Netanyahu. Because of course he does that. Plus, the presidential debate is still up in the air. All that and so much more coming up on the show. Make sure you're following us on all the things. All of them. chicksontheright.com/links. Also, I'd like to wish a happy birthday, if I may, to Sarah Napier. Happy birthday, Sarah. Balls.
That is from your husband, Matt.
Yeah. And us. Happy birthday
And
to
us.
Sarah. Happy.
Yes. Happy day indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Couple quick thank yous to Judy Flood, who says good morning from Logan, Ohio, and Alexandra, who says good morning, ladies. This Sunday I'm heading to Croatia to surprise my family. Quick question for you. What kind of coffee machine do you use, and how strong do you like your coffee?
I have a Keurig that has a thing that froths milk. So I can make like homemade cappuccinos and lattes. That's what I use. I know it's pretty fancy, right? I'm so fancy, you guys. But that's what I have, because I'm serious about my coffee. Like I have to have like 2 or 3 cups a day. So that is what I have.
How strong do you like it?
I like it pretty strong with like just a little bit of like milk in there. Like you can like a little bit of milk in there. But I do like it strong. And then sometimes
I am actually drinking coffee again, and I've gone through a
You
tea
are?
phase. Today I am.
yeah.
Because when it gets colder, that's when I start wanting it. But
Mhm.
for like the whole summer, I just was drinking hot water with lemon or tea. And
Mhm.
now I am back to the full strength. And I like it I like a medium boldness, I would say. But I'm a K-cup girl.
I'm a K-cup girl too. I like the K-cups. Yeah.
I'm a K-cup girl all the way around.
Yep.
So, but thank you for your question. I cannot remember the last time I was asked for my
Yeah,
coffee.
I haven't been asked that in quite some time. I used to like differ on how I took it. I used to drink it black, but now I just like a little bit of Fairlife milk in there. Yeah.
Fair life milk.
Right.
Did I not put all these in the right order? I didn't. Man, I just am not. Vacation, man. It's not even vacation. It's just when you have an extra long weekend, then you forget how to do.
You forget how to radio. We always used to remember we used to forget how to radio when we take a week vacation and be like, what are we doing? Yeah.
But what I was trying to do was to find this handy dandy little banner so that I could tell you very briefly about Field of Greens. You might be taking a multivitamin every day, and I hope you are, but it's not enough, because if you're not getting enough fruits and veggies, then you're just not getting the health benefits that you need, that your body needs from fruits and veggies. This is the way to cheat at it. If you're not particularly fond of the greens, but you actually want the benefits from them, this is a green powder. You just take a scoop of this, mix it up in some water, and you have yourself a delicious, fruity juice beverage that is so freaking good for you.
They are
so
good.
Some of the benefits that people find after they start taking Field of Greens regularly, they find that they have better sleep. They find that they have steady energy throughout the day, that you don't have that afternoon crash, and that your stomach might even feel better. So if you have any kind of digestive issues, this can also help with that. This just helps you it helps you from stop running on fumes. So you can get your own, whatever flavor is your favorite. This happens to be the wild berry, which to me tastes like a blueberry fruit drink. But they also have a lemon lime, which somehow tastes like tea. I don't know how it works. It's magic.
The sweet tea. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
good.
all delicious. And that was the deal breaker for me. I was like, I'll try it. But if it tastes healthy, thank you. No. But it doesn't. It tastes yummy. And you can try it by just going to fogchicks, fogchicks.com. Use code CHICKS. You'll get 15% off your order plus free shipping. So you stop running on fumes. Try Field of Greens. Fogchicks.com. All right. So we need to tell you about what's happened in Brazil. Twitter, now X, is banned in Brazil. And Linda Yaccarino, who is the CEO of X, said this is a sad day for X users around the world, especially those in Brazil who are being denied access to our platform. I wish it didn't have to come to this, and it breaks my heart. The Brazilian constitution says any and all censorship of a political, ideological, and artistic nature is forbidden. I hope for a day when the Brazilian government will live up to its constitution that the Brazilian people ratified. But until there is change in Brazil, X will be shut down. We hope to be back soon. It's freaking bonkers.
Yeah, it's bonkers. And how does that even work?
I don't know.
How does that work? How do they shut that down? I mean, because people travel and stuff like that. So if you're Brazilian, you're in Brazil, you can't see X. You travel to the United States, you can see it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how they monitor that and they police it.
And they're talking like if you try to view it through a VPN, like on the stealth mode, you can get fined.
And there's
oh my God, they're insane right now. There's a journalist who tweeted about this saying, in Brazil, we don't have X anymore since midnight. I'm tweeting this with VPN. This tweet may cost me almost 10,000 USD, according to the decision of the tyrant, they're talking about the leadership there.
Oh my
God.
God.
Brazilian that posts on X from now on will be fined 50,000, whatever ours are. According to this illegal ruling. But my dignity is worth more than that. It is priceless. And I will keep tweeting regardless of these threats because I believe in the freedom of expression, democracy, and justice. And now they're talking about taking it to the streets on the 7th of September. There's going to be some commotion there.
These people,
the streets of Brazil.
Yeah, they need to stand up to their government. They need to stand up for this. And if it's in their constitution, how dare they? How dare you? This is craziness, you guys. And this is the thing. Scott Jones is saying $9,000 fines, $10,000 fines. I mean, and we think, oh, this will never happen in the United States. That liberals would love this. They would absolutely love it if X was.
Oh my God.
They'd love it to shut it down.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is this total hypocrisy from Business Insider, who back in 2013 said billionaire Jeff Bezos's Washington Post buy marks a fascinating cultural transition in America. But when Elon Musk bought Twitter, it represented a chilling new threat.
Unbelievable.
I mean, just the way that it's even talked about is so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, just be warned. Take this as a warning. They will stop at nothing. They'll stop at nothing to shut Trump down. They'll stop at nothing to take Elon down. This is what they want.
Totally switching gears for a minute. But I saw, and I was trying to explain this to my husband. He still doesn't understand it. I don't know if I do either, but saw something floating around on X this weekend that completely blew my mind into a million pieces. So there is a market for trans porn. And it is a big enough market that it has to be driven by straight people, right? And when I say people, I mean dudes, because y'all are weird. You dudes and your porn.
Right.
It has to be driven by them. Otherwise, this would not be the moneymaker that it is right now. And it has become so popular, allegedly, that now there are regular girls who are putting like fake dongs in their panties to look like they're trans, and then
to make money
because this is a moneymaker now. So this is what it looks like. You can see that they have
crying out loud
junk in there. And so this Lily girl is like left or right, and then the trans community is now outraged and saying, seeing cis girls shoving dildos in their pants and pretending to be trans for money makes me so annoyed. My gender isn't your costume.
Oh my God. You cannot make this up. You can't. You cannot. My gender is
just what is even happening?
Do you know what you're saying? Transgender person, my gender isn't your costume. Oh, really? Is that so? Is that so? Okay.
I mean, like this one. I wish nothing but pain and suffering on you two for co-opting our identity to make money doing porn. You wouldn't last a day in our shoes, and I pray to God you experience a fraction of the violence that we do.
So much to take apart from this paragraph. So much to take apart.
Right?
It's like co-opting our identity. Oh, really? Hello. Welcome to the party, pal. And then praying to God. What God are you praying to? Which one? What? It's I can't. Oh my God, I can't with these people.
Can't make it up.
Okay, all right.
So then, someone rightly pointed out, boys pretending to be girls don't like girls pretending to be boys pretending to be girls. Some days this app is just too delicious.
Welcome to 2024, everybody. Have a seat.
I just can't. I mean, it's just too delicious.
It's
right?
absurd. All of it. The absurdity. We're living in idiocracy right now. This is it. Sweet meteor of death cannot hit us soon enough.
Also, very exciting news from our partner who has the Etsy store, who is selling the merch that has, this is going to be a long show on it. She's the one that created that amazing cartoon photo of us. There is a giveaway happening.
Giveaway. Look at the cute little cacti.
I know. This is very, very exciting. So starting at 7:00 tonight, okay, we're only going to tell you this once. I may post it for insiders and locals
one time.
Too. But beyond that, you're not going to hear about it again, except right now. But so starting at 7:00 tonight, and then through September 12th, if you buy something from the Chicks on the Right merch at her store, which is in reallifecreations.etsy.com, and you put in the notes section at checkout the word chicks, you're going to be entered to win this giveaway. And one of you, I don't know who yet, we'll announce it after the 13th or on the 13th. One of you is going to win a limited edition t-shirt with the new Chicks on the Right Halloween design, which we haven't even seen yet. So it's very, very exciting. You can enter the contest by getting something from the store and putting chicks in the comment section. And by the way, let me just show you how cute some of the stuff is.
Yeah,
like,
super cute.
The election stuff, this is so freaking cute. This election
right?
2024.
It's
and
super
there's
cute.
all kinds.
I like the garden
of
flag.
products.
I need a garden flag.
Yeah, the garden flag is super cute. They've got sweatshirts, hats. I saw somebody from, I think, Insiders posted that they have the hat. Just tons and tons of cute stuff. So, check out that contest. And let me.
Speaking of Halloween, I've already decorated my house for Halloween, you guys.
God, it is barely September.
I did that it is September. It is time to, it's fall, you guys, basically.
No,
I know it's like 100 degrees here.
Until like the 21st.
But to me, it's fall. And listen, everybody should be thankful I didn't decorate for Christmas. Okay? Everybody just be thankful.
All right. In reallifecreations.etsy.com. That's where you want to go to get entered into the giveaway and get yourself some cute merch. All right. You know what? Before we get into the hot and heavy news, because there is a lot, there is so much hot and heavy news. Let's just remind everybody about how important their privacy is for a second. Can we do that? Because your privacy matters. And if it doesn't matter to you, I don't even know. How is that a thing? Your privacy matters. And there's a lot of terrible people out there who are trying to take your personal information. A lot of them. In fact, there's like that recent breach in April of 2024 that we heard about not even a month ago, where like, if you have a social security number, you are exposed. You are at risk. Your information is out there floating around with nefarious types that you don't want. It
terrifies me.
It should. It should.
Mm-hmm.
And there is help. And that help comes in the form of our sponsor, Aura. When you visit aura.com/chicks, you can get a 14-day free trial with their identity protection services, but it's so much more than just about protecting your identity and your personal information. They offer so many tools that help keep your data safe. And when you go to aura.com/chicks to try that 14-day free trial, you'll see instantly how much, if any, of your data has already been compromised. And then it will take you through steps to correct it, to get your data protected again. So it's an invaluable service. I sleep well at night knowing that I have it. It really makes a difference. And you can try it for free for 14 days. Go to aura.com/chicks. All right. We're going to get into some news. Some of it, unfortunately, are stories that I thought we had put a cap on last week that have continued to fester through the weekend. And the primary story that I'm talking about with respect to the festering is the story about Arlington and Arlington Gate and Trump's visit on the third anniversary of the 13 service members who lost their lives at Abbey Gate. He spent time with their families at Arlington Cemetery. There were photos and videos at the family's request, and Democrats are losing their shit about it. I cannot understand why. But the worst part is that Kamala decided to dive into that conversation, and it did not go well for her. We're going to kick it off with Joe Biden, who you will not understand in this video, and I'm well aware that you won't understand him. I will bring you the translation after you listen to it, because reporters caught up with him and said, what do you think about Trump showing up at Arlington Cemetery? Here is that exchange.
Mr. President, what do you think of President Trump's behavior at Arlington Cemetery with the visit to the fallen soldiers?
I don't want to answer things. I may tell you what I think.
Did you get that?
No, I didn't get that. I didn't. I've lost my touch in speaking dementia Biden. Because listen, he's been on vacation for 2 weeks. It's nice that he can grace us with his presence and try to get a deal, with Hamas. Thanks.
Yeah, and that's a whole other story that we'll get to in just a little bit. What he said there was, I don't want to because I might tell you what I think. I'm not going to answer because I might tell you what I think.
Yeah. Oh, God. This guy. I swear.
I mean, that's why because they want to know what you think.
That's why they asked you. You dementia-ridden fool.
Oh my God, is he ever? So, like we said, Kamala
Did you want your vice president
in the middle of this issue, even though she was the last one in the room on deciding whether or not to move forward with that Afghanistan withdrawal that cost these service members their lives. She released this giant statement on Twitter talking about how Arlington is such a solemn place. It's not a place for politics. And Trump's team decided to do all this bad stuff. And this was a political stunt and he's awful. He disparages service members. I mean, she went on and on and on. There's even more after that. She was like, anyone who cannot meet the simple sacred duty should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. I will always honor the service and sacrifice of our fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our beloved nation and cherished freedoms. I mourn them and salute them, and I will never politicize them. She just freaking did.
Except for, she did politicize them. And when it actually happened, she wasn't there.
Right.
She wasn't there. I mean, Joe and Jill were there, but Joe kept looking at his watch, as we all recall. So who should we talk about disrespect and not honoring?
This was a really dumb idea.
It really was.
I don't know whose it was. I mean, she had to sign off on a statement that long. There's no way that they wouldn't have her sign off on it.
Somebody wrote it because the whole let me be clear bullcrap that they always pull. I mean, give me a break. It's some speechwriter that always says let me be clear. But that, and then also the ad that Biden did, that campaign ad that he did in 2020 that was there at Arlington. I mean, is it Politico? I think I saw this weekend try to do that whole mostly false thing with that.
What?
They were like, well, I mean, it wasn't really an ad, or like, I mean, they danced around that and they're trying so hard to push back on this, you guys. They're desperately trying to do that. But the Gold Star families are like not having it.
No, they're not having it. And we'll get to some of their responses, because Kamala got herself just a beat down over the weekend, and it was actually a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Senator Tom Cotton was also on, I think it was with Kristen Welker, talking about this issue. She's impossible. But
bottom line, though,
so
I guess, Senator, is it ever appropriate to make campaign content at military gravesites?
He didn't take campaign photos there. These families, Gold Star families, whose children died because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's incompetence, invited him to the cemetery. And they asked him to take those photos because, as they told me yesterday, when I spoke to Kelly Barnett and Darren Hoover, the parents of Taylor Hoover, who has Arkansas ties, they don't get to go to the beach on Labor Day. They don't get to have barbecues. This is their one chance to have a memory of their children, to commemorate their service and to honor their sacrifice. They wanted President Trump there. They wanted to take those photos. You know who the families also invited? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Where were they? Joe Biden was sitting at a beach. Kamala Harris was sitting at her mansion in Washington, D.C. She was 4 miles away, 10 minutes. She could have gone to the cemetery and honored the sacrifice of those young men and women. But she hasn't. She never has spoken to them or taken a meeting with them.
Well, they did meet with them during the dignified transfer.
Because of
they were with them at the dignified transfer.
Her and Joe Biden's incompetence, those 13 Americans were killed in Afghanistan.
They're the reason that they're dead.
Yeah. And she was not at the dignified transfer. She was wrong about that.
Again, with the pushing back, these people are trying so hard to rationalize and pretend that they're not the reason for these 13 deaths.
Yeah.
They're the
But
reason.
you cannot separate them. As much as they want to make this about Trump,
They're
you
gonna
cannot
try.
separate why those people are dead. You
Yeah.
cannot.
And that's why they're not there.
Yeah.
Because if they're there, they have to face up to the fact that they're the reason for the F up. They're the
Yep.
reason. It's shame on them.
Joey Jones also just blown away by the fact that she released the statement, and here was his message for her.
With all due respect, Madam Vice President, where in the hell were you when they were honoring these 13 service members? Were you still the last person in the room? Have you not left yet? Is that where you were? Because you weren't at Section 60, where a half dozen of my good friends are buried, and I don't know one family member who would take objection to a president of the United States showing up in order to pay his respects. And from what we've been told, those family members wanted the pictures.
Yep.
And then look at this New York Times heading. I just, oh my God. So Trump campaign uses statements from Gold Star families to attack Harris.
Yeah.
That's how they spin this?
Mm-hmm. If you
Oh my
didn't-
God.
Somebody said it perfectly in our comment section. I'm sorry I didn't get your name, but the media is the enemy of the people.
Totally.
The media
It
is
says
our
that right on the top, right here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I didn't see that. I totally didn't see that. I'm sorry. But they are the enemy. They are the enemy of all of us. And and so tread carefully whenever you read something, see something, hear something from these awful propagandists is what they are. You have to discern whether or not you're going to you just have to filter it. You have to take it through the filter of these people hate America. They hate us. They're awful.
And it's amazing too. There's a clip that you're about to see with Dana Bash, who you can tell that she's irritated by the fact that you can't extricate the Biden-Harris team from the death of these.
Right.
Soldiers. You can't separate the two. And she calls that a sore spot. That's how she refers to it. It's a sore spot for the campaign.
That Donald Trump has not been involved in, that he didn't double down on, triple down on. It's the Roy Cohn playbook that he has followed for decades and decades. My question for you is the Harris campaign and how they are dealing with this. I mean, my understanding is she decided to weigh in over the weekend. They were being asked a lot about it, understandably, knowing that this is policy-wise and politically, like we talked about, it is a sore spot for the Biden administration, no question about it.
I mean,
it's a sore spot. It's disastrous for them. And any other, on any other planet where they didn't have the media in their pocket, right? And the media wasn't a propaganda arm of the Democrat Party, it would be disastrous for them. These people wouldn't be running.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I saw somebody announce that after that happened, when, because we all remember the pictures too of the plane with like people hanging
Right.
off of it. After that happened, Joe Biden's approval numbers tanked and they never recovered from that. So
Mhm.
you can understand why they're so desperate to try to make this about Trump, 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 Trump. They
Right.
can't. They cannot do it.
He had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero to do with it. And they want so badly to make him cling to it. He had nothing to do with it. And the Gold Star families, they just wanted leadership there that day. They wanted somebody who is an actual viable leader to be there to respect and honor their kids or their, their sons, their daughters, their nieces, their nephews. They just wanted somebody there to show them some respect and the honor that they deserve. And Trump was the guy to do it. Because those other two jackholes weren't going to show up. They've never shown up. They've never said their names. And now they're going to try to, it's a sore spot. Really, Dana? Really?
And Kamala's going to try to come after Trump for not respecting the fallen. Okay, let's hear it from the actual family members of the fallen. So one by one, they started releasing these video statements to Kamala, directly addressing her ridiculous tweet. And man, were they ever brutal. Obviously, we can't show you all of them, but we will show a few clips of some of them, and we'll show the video that they then put together, like the video that was put together with excerpts from all of their videos, because this is brutal, you guys. Absolutely brutal.
President Harris.
Vice President Harris.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui.
My name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover.
My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate.
Our kids were murdered because of your administration.
You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer, and no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service.
You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud.
You failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids.
Where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you had done for the last 3 years.
We invited him to be there.
These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day.
President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us. And he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And Biden was on a 2-week vacation.
Just disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. I did clip out a few of their solo videos, some of the more impactful, at least to me, parts. And so I'm just going to let I have 4 different clips. I'm just going to let them all run together because they're pretty short, each of them. But I felt like some of their messages were worth hearing a little bit more of. Here are some of those right now.
Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well.
Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. How do you sleep at night knowing it was you, this administration, you and Biden, you being the last one in the room, are responsible for the death of our 13 kids? You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me.
God.
You have failed in your duties as vice president. You've proven that you're not capable to do the job that you have, let alone the job that you seek. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
God bless
Here we
him.
are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris, trying to incite those that don't follow the truth that President Trump was in Arlington as a political stunt. Imagine for a second that your kid is killed, and there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden. You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud in the halls of Congress, at a State of the Union, hell, anything. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And
right.
I pray to God, Americans, wake the hell up and get your ass out of office.
We all do.
You have spit in our face for the last fucking time.
President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day, and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. And President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
I mean, brutal.
Yeah. And you know what?
necessary.
Absolutely necessary. Absolutely. Because I mean, it's like we always say, they have the media in their pocket and the media is doing their bidding, and it's lies. These people are telling the truth. And the guy, like that guy said, he prays and hopes that they don't get it back in office because these people are freaking liars. They have done these horrible things and just discounted these people and discounted these beautiful 13 soldiers. And like,
I just can't, I mean, just from a purely political strategy standpoint, I cannot believe she waded into this controversy. I just can't believe it.
But further from a human standpoint, how can you do this from a human standpoint? It's one thing to be just a politician, a complete scumbag, but at the end of the day, she's got to look in the mirror. Yeah. And I don't know how these people do it. Like 13 people died. And you have never once acknowledged that. And then you turn around and you do that shit the other day. Like, who are you? It's gross.
It's vile. Absolutely vile. They also released.
But on top of that, I just want to say there are a bunch of liberals out there who will discount these people, these family members saying what they're saying. There are liberals out there who would just be like, oh no, like these people don't matter. Like we're still going to, which is gross to me. It should be gross. It's vile.
Yeah. They also, in addition to their solo videos, they released a joint statement addressing Kamala. And I mean, I'm not going to read the entire thing here, but just know that what you heard in those videos was echoed in their joint statement. And it's super, super powerful letter. I also have to point out something hilarious that was accidentally hilarious, but there was There was an article that said,
oh my God,
Democrats don't seem particularly concerned. They argue that Republicans have spent so much time blaming Biden for the suicide bombing at Abbey Gate and other failures that to pivot to fingering Harris doesn't pass the smell test.
There are so many jokes here.
There are so many other ways that could have been worded.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes you could do here. We're just not going to do them. But yeah,
oh my God.
Somebody could have edited that, maybe. Maybe sort of edited.
I love that the person that tweeted, Maggie Howell, said this wording is criminal and the writer should be arrested.
What is this? What is it? Yeah.
I mean, that was really bad. Really bad.
Yep.
Okay. So obviously that story is not going away anytime soon. I had thought that there was a cap on it, but Kamala decided to wade in those waters.
They just can't stop. They can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Uh-uh.
And then also over the weekend, unfortunately, 6 of the hostages were brutally executed by Hamas. One of those included the Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Poland, whose parents spoke at the DNC. There was just a lot of just news articles, tweets about this. IDF soldiers apparently were in such close physical proximity to those 6 hostages that were brutally executed by Hamas at the time they were killed that IDF sensors heard the shots. And the rescue team had a 5 to 10 minute window in which to breach the tunnel and effect the rescue. And as soon as Hamas detected the operation, they executed the hostages. Because they're brutal, disgusting,
savages.
Yes, savages. That's exactly the right word.
They're animals. These people we're dealing with animals.
Yeah. And Ben Shapiro obviously tweeted about it, saying the word evil is not descriptive enough. They murdered in cold blood 6 people they'd taken hostage almost a year ago, 330 days, including an American, all in an attempt to sow seeds of political chaos. And he said they have to be extirpated. It's the only thing to do. No deal that leaves them in place or allows for the re-Hamasization of Gaza can be morally justifiable. And the Biden White House spent months delaying the entry into Rafah, including by withholding arms. And would more hostages have been liberated in March if they hadn't stood in the way playing defense? It was awful, just absolutely awful to get that news.
He's right. Number two, especially, I absolutely agree with. Number 2 is crucial. You cannot allow. This is the thing. You can't allow. Yeah.
And the fact that they delayed, that they kept getting in the way of this operation into Rafah was such a huge mistake. And now there's a flashback video that's going around of Kamala speaking about this in an interview some time ago, and how dumb she looks in hindsight, because this administration, for all the foreign policy expertise that they always claim Joe Biden has, there's never been an administration worse at foreign policy than this current one.
Right.
Here is a little flashback of Kamala talking about how she's looked at maps.
We have been clear in multiple conversations and in every way that any major military operation in Rafah would be a huge mistake. Let me tell you something. I have studied the maps. There's nowhere for those folks to go. And we're looking at about 1.5 million people in Rafah who are there because they were told to go there, most of them. And so we've been very clear that it would be a mistake to move into Rafah with any type of military operation.
This has always been like a situation where somebody comes into my house and brutally murders my family, right? And then they tell me, hey, Daisy, you can fight back, but not too hard.
Yeah,
F you.
Don't let there be any collateral damage. Just be real careful.
Right. You're allowed to fight back, but you have to tie one of your arms behind your back, and you can't really, use a lot of force. F you, because that's not what's going to happen. I'm going to unleash hell on people if they come in and they kill my family. So these are the rules now. Like, there's rules here. If somebody does that, there's going to be hell to pay. Yeah. And I don't understand why people don't get this. They always say to Israel, but you can't fight back too hard because you're Israel.
Right. And there's special rules for you.
It's just ridiculous.
Well, and even more ridiculous was when Biden finally got back from his beach vacation. He was stopped by reporters to ask about this, and they asked him if he thought that Netanyahu was doing enough. Okay, so here is his answer to that question.
Planning to present a final hostage deal for the both sides this week.
We're very close to that.
What makes you think that this deal will be successful in a way that the other deals were not?
Hope springs eternal.
Mr. President, do you think it's time for Prime Minister Netanyahu to do more on this issue? Do you think he's doing enough?
No.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow. Like, what an a-hole.
And the double screen there was so perfect.
Right.
Showing him his lazy, demented ass on a beach. He's done nothing for 3.5 years, nothing but drive this country off a cliff. And he has the audacity to say that about Netanyahu, who's an actual leader.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
And then to always put the blame or the onus on Israel to somehow be more cooperative in a ceasefire agreement is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And Netanyahu responded to the criticism in a perfect Netanyahu sort of way.
I was asked whether I'm not doing enough to the release of hostages. Well, I want to set the record straight. On April 27th, Secretary of State Blinken said that Israel made an extraordinarily generous offer for a hostage deal. On May 31st, Israel agreed to a U.S.-backed proposal. Hamas refused. On August 16th, Israel agreed to what the United States defined as a final bridging proposal. Hamas refused again. On August 19th, Secretary Blinken said, Israel accepted the U.S. proposal. Now Hamas must do the same. On August 28th, that's 5 days ago, Deputy CIA Director said that Israel shows seriousness in the negotiations. Now Hamas must show the same seriousness. I want to ask you something. What has changed in the last 5 days? What has changed? One thing. These murderers executed 6 of our hostages. They shot them in the back of the head. That's what's changed. And now after this, we're asked to show seriousness? We're asked to make concessions? What message does this send Hamas? It says, kill more hostages, murder more hostages, you'll get more concessions. Right. The pressure internationally must be directed at these killers, at Hamas, not at Israel. We say yes, they say no all the time, but they also murdered these people. And now we need maximum pressure on Hamas. I don't believe that either President Biden or anyone serious about achieving peace and achieving the release would seriously ask Israel to make these concessions. We've already made them. Hamas has to make the concession. Thank you very much. Toda rabba lachem.
I mean, you're negotiating with terrorists.
Oh my God. And like he said, he gave 4, 5 examples of them saying, okay, yeah, we'll agree to this ceasefire. And it's always Hamas that says, no, they're not serious about a ceasefire.
Because they're terrorists.
Killed 6 people.
Right.
And they released a video of all 6 of them, basically those hostage type of videos where they're basically saying, I miss you, mom and dad. And then they shot them all in the back of the head.
Right.
I mean, these are savages.
These are terrorists. They are terrorists. And we're supposed to negotiate with these lunatics. But that's what people think. It's just like people have been brainwashed to think, oh yeah, they're like normal people. We can negotiate with. You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
And then when the hostages were killed, it was while Biden was still on the beach, and he had the nerve to tweet or have his people tweet, I've worked tirelessly to bring Hirsch home, and Jill and I could not be more heartbroken by the news of his death. It's tragic and reprehensible.
Really?
And Dr. Eli David was like, you have the audacity to say you worked tirelessly to bring him home. You did everything in your power to stop Israel from entering Rafah. You even stopped weapon shipments to demand that they didn't enter Rafah. Hirsch's body was found in Rafah.
Yeah.
You jackhole.
And you worked tirelessly on a beach?
Tirelessly.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up, dude.
God.
Shut up. God, this guy. I cannot wait for him to be gone.
I know it. Both Eric Erickson and Seth Dillon went after him too. Eric saying Hamas killed an American citizen with a bullet to the back of the kid's head, and Joe Biden's been sitting on a beach, and Kamala Harris is on the campaign trail talking about joy.
Exactly.
And then Seth said he wouldn't rest until he got the hostages home safely.
Mm-hmm.
They have my word, he promised, and then he went to the beach and retired.
Right. He's been resting whole hell of a lot.
God. And then it was so interesting too to see the clip from Kamala Harris's only interview thus far with Dana Bash talking about the Israeli-Gaza conflict. In hindsight, like now knowing what's happened over this weekend, rewatching that clip of her just shines a huge spotlight on how inept, clueless, and dumb she is on this issue, because all she can do is say, we have to make a deal, but she has no plan, she has no strategy, she is utterly clueless. Just rewatch this with those fresh eyes.
We have got to get a deal done. We were in Doha. We have to get a deal done. This war must end, and we must get a deal that is about getting the hostages out. I've met with the families of the American hostages. Let's get the hostages out. Let's get the ceasefire done.
But no change in policy in terms of arms and so forth.
No, we have to get a deal done.
Oh my God.
Dana, we have to get a deal done. When you look at the significance of this to the families, to the people who are living in that region, a deal is not only the right thing to do to end this war, but will unlock so much of what must happen next.
We gonna send her in to do the deal? We gonna send her in to do it, or is she gonna like take her emotional support animal with her, take Walz with her to do it? She gonna like hold his hand? She gonna make a deal with terrorists like together? They're gonna do it together, holding hands? Because Lord knows she can't do this. She can't make any deals with anybody, let alone terrorists, let alone these lunatics. She can't do it. She's incapable. So good luck with that.
She sounded just so useless there. We have to make a deal. Okay, that you can say that 4 times in one answer. It doesn't help a deal get made.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
She's so dumb, you guys.
Oh my God.
Dumb.
And looking at maps. So my 14-year-old's looking at maps in her geography class right now.
Yeah, rest assured, she's looked at maps, you guys.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Quick break just to say thank you to some folks. Osuki says, is Field of Greens okay for the kidney challenged? Yes, because it's literally just organic fruits and vegetables.
Right.
So if your kidney can tolerate fruits and veggies, it can absolutely tolerate Field of Greens.
Mm-hmm.
Casa Donata says, good morning, ladies. Turned 72 today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All my dogs get rough greens and we get Field of Greens. Thanks for all you do. That's so great. Thank you so much for helping our sponsors. That helps us more than you know. Melanie 2020 says a deal done for ceasefire is only for political gain for Kamala. That's absolutely true. Over here, Alexander says, thanks for letting me know how you like your coffee. Expect some care packages from my trip in November when I come back to the States.
Well, that's
very sweet.
Very
Raymond Cromley says, ? What happened to the Monroe Doctrine? Interesting question. Sonia Dubb says, good morning, chicks from Muncie, Indiana. Been listening to you both since radio days and don't miss a show. Shouting out a happy 24th anniversary to my hubby, Scott. We are both proud Army vets and praying for this country.
Happy anniversary from Muncie, where Ball State is.
Ball
State. My parents both went to Ball State. We have a kid that went to Ball State too. So is it Cardinals? Chirp, chirp. I think that's what it is.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary. And also thank you for your service. Evyatar Ashkenazi says 6 hostages were executed in Gaza. 1 is an American citizen. Hamas admits this was an execution. Where are the protests at the universities now? There's not going to be any.
Well, they're on the side of the terrorists. That's where they are.
They were in New York City holding up Hamas
Right.
flags yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, disgusting. Donnell Elsner, thank you. She says, signed up for Aura last week and they have cleaned up all the things. So easy. Love it. Yay. That's awesome.
That's
You're going to
fantastic.
sleep a lot better now. Evyatar says, Hamas demands that Israel will pay millions to build Gaza, cease all fire and leave the area and let weapons come in Gaza, and Biden allows it. I mean, that's crazy. That cannot be the deal. That's just not,
It's not a deal.
it's just not a deal. I mean, oh my God. Jason Decker says, never forget the kids and aid workers killed so Biden could hurry and say he got those responsible for the bombing. He's just a disgrace on every single level. Every single level.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, the debate that is supposed to happen in 7 days from today is still up in the air. And I cannot believe this, but it's true. There is still chitter chatter from Harris's campaign team that she's still pushing for these open mics. Now, there is talk that she's preparing. And the way she's preparing is that she's focused on getting under Trump's skin, remaining calm in response to his attacks, pointing out his broken promises, and emphasizing his advanced age.
His broken promises. His promises.
Advanced age.
And his advanced age. Nobody gives a crap about that. But his broken promises, which ones are those? It's like, seriously, I want. And what has she done? He's going to pummel her on her record.
Yeah. And he can.
Because he can. It's like she can't hide from the fact that she has been vice president, even though she's going to try. She's going to be like, when I was attorney general and when I was senator. No, biatch, you've been vice president for the past 3.5 years. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
He's going to pull her, and I can't wait. It's going to happen.
It seems like it will, but then there was all this chitter chatter again about the frickin' mics. So the Trump campaign has accepted the rules the way that they were at the last debate. And Kamala tweeted, Donald Trump is surrendering to his advisors who won't allow him to debate with a live mic. If his own team doesn't have confidence in him, the American people definitely can't. We're running for president. Let's debate in a transparent way with the mics on the whole time.
Whatever.
So is she going to be there or not? Like, I can't tell.
This is such a stupid argument. I don't care about whether the mics are on or whether they're off. I don't care. It doesn't show weakness to me either way. I just don't care. Do you guys care about this? I don't.
She definitely cares. I don't think he cares, but she wants her I'm speaking moment. And Greg Price rightly said, let's be clear about what's going on here. Both campaigns agreed to the rules. Kamala even released a statement saying, quote, the debate about debates is over. Now she's trying to change the rules at the last minute because they've realized Kamala sucks at this. And the only thing that'll make everyone forget how terrible she is if she says, I'm speaking. And that's absolutely right.
That's impression of hers about I'm speaking.
So nasal.
It is very, very annoying. It's very annoying. Yes.
I mean, I
don't care either way. Just debate.
Just have debate.
Just make it happen and everybody shut up. I mean, everybody's acting like a toddler at this point. Just do the freaking debate and let's do this.
I mean, if they do have open mics, if Trump comes out and concedes again, because that's what he'd have to do, it would be a concession on his part if they do change the rules, and so that she'll be all happy about having an open mic. He should absolutely plan on having all the self-control and just not giving her that moment that she's craving.
But he needs to preamble it with, you know what, since she keeps changing the rules and she's so fixated on this instead of actually fixing the country, I'll do whatever. Because she obviously is spending so much time like just fixating on this debate rather than doing things that she should be doing when the country is a complete dumpster fire. That's how, again, he needs to call me. He needs to, from a calm standpoint, they could be spinning this in such a way where, because she is spending a whole hell of a lot of time concentrating on this stupid debate when she should be actually doing things, like honoring those 13 service members. There's a thought. That's just one thing just one of the many things that she could be doing. And he doesn't seem to be stressing about it. He's just like, I'll do whatever, whenever. I don't give a shit. I'll be there. Yeah. But she's just debate.
You know that Democrats are bad when even Jill Stein goes after them. She had tweeted this out, I guess, within the last few days, saying the Democrats are leading the charge in war and censorship and co-leading the assault on working people and democracy. That's
True.
not a counter to fascism. It is fascism.
It is. Gosh,
and I was like, damn, Jill.
You go, Jill. What's up with Dr. Jill? Look at Dr. Jill calling out the fascism. Look at her go.
That was a little bit of a surprise.
I know.
Frank Luntz, who is, of course, famous pollster, he was on one of the news programs to talk about previewing the debate and talking about how important it is for both candidates. Here is his analysis about it.
I mean, what is left to do in 64 days?
Oh, the debate is everything.
Everything.
Everything. When the voter sees side by side the two candidates and they listen to what they say, not just in the answers, it's the body language. Is there contempt? Does someone fold their arms? Do they look at the individual when they're speaking? Do they seem presidential in their approach? For Trump, can he keep quiet? Can he actually listen to a response, or does he have to respond to everything? For Harris, does she seem open-minded? Does she seem willing to take in information, not just project? Each one of them has different goals for that debate, but each one in the end has to prove that they're ready, not just for that moment, but voters are thinking, who do I want to represent me 2 years from now, 3 or 4 years from now? That's why Biden had to step aside when he did, and that's the challenge for Harris right now. You know, she did not do well in her presidential debate. She did not shine. And now she has to prove she has the capability to do it. And Trump has to prove that he doesn't treat her rudely, obnoxiously, because he lost a lot of female voters in 2020 who would have voted for him over policy, but would not vote for him because of his persona.
You know,
and if I was advising the campaign right now, which I do not, I'd say to him that silence, in some cases, is the best language. That silence, because he has questions that he can ask that she can't answer. Why did inflation get so high under your administration? What exactly are you going to do? If your policies caused it, what can you do to solve it? And most importantly, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? It's not my question. That was Ronald Reagan's question. If he asked that question plainly, he will be successful. I don't believe he has the ability to do so.
I can't concentrate, Mock. I can't. He's got like a capybara on his head. What is that real? Is that real? I can't.
I mean, it's unlikely that that's real.
I mean, it's so different color than what's going on down here. It's like the carpet and the drapes.
Yeah,
the carpet and the drapes aren't matching. But it isn't real, right, guys? It's not. Thank you for the bless yous with the sneeze. Seriously, it's not. It can't be real. It's so animalistic up there.
It does look like a bit of a rug has just been.
I found it very, very, very hard to concentrate.
Well, you didn't miss much except for him saying Trump just needs to be quiet, which I also agree with. I think that'll be exactly how he needs to play it, because she wants to bait him so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just needs to resist.
He's not going to be quiet, Miriam.
Why do you gotta say that?
Because he is who he is. He's not going to.
He was really good during the Biden debate about letting Biden finish. Now, granted, mics were muted, but still, he wasn't like trying to talk while Biden was talking.
I think he felt sorry for Biden at a lot of points. I think he was like, this guy, it was like, you know, somebody who's on their last leg. And seriously, he's just so feeble and weak. And he was failing like right before our eyes. And I think he could, you know, he could sense that. And he was like, I really kind of feel sorry for this old man.
Yeah.
Who he's like in front of everybody, he is failing. And he knew that was like, I think he could sense that, and he knew it. And I think there was a sense of empathy there. He's not going to be empathetic towards Kamala, because Kamala is flat out commie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's awful. Hilariously, a funny thing happened on X over the weekend, and that is that Mark Cuban, who's become a complete psychopath, Cuban decided to do a poll, and he was trying to prove a point that Kamala is the person out of the two of them, Kamala and Trump. Kamala is the person that you want your kids to model their virtues after.
Oh my
more
God.
so than Trump. So he
Nice
runs
to see you
this
this morning.
poll,
Thank you
right?
very much. Sarah?
And the poll says, whose persona and character would you like to see young children grow up to have? And then, of course, you have the two choices. The poll did not go well for him.
No.
Because it was almost 1 million votes, and Donald Trump was the clear winner. Well, he was mad about that. And so,
shocker.
So somebody suggested, are you questioning the results of a free and fair election? Mark?
I love it.
Ashley St. Clair, who's, by the way, blocked us. Because remember when I said that she was like copying other people's material without credit?
Yeah.
Which she was.
She didn't
She's
like that.
blocked us since then. She didn't like that. Somebody
Oh, that's-
ratted on us. Ratted
that's
on
neat.
us to her. But anyway, Mark says, great point. How nice would it be to get rid of anonymous accounts on Twitter? To which everyone said, maybe you mean like people should have ID on Twitter before they vote?
Unbelievable. This guy is a piece of work, isn't he?
I just love that he made the case for voter ID and
Right.
didn't even mean to.
And this again is one of the billionaires that liberals love, right? He's in the club. He's in the club because he's one of them. So they like this billionaire. They like him. He good billionaire.
That just cracked me up.
Yeah, it was really good.
Very pleased to announce that Kamala Harris has a new accent to introduce to everybody. I don't know what kind of accent it is. You're just going to have to listen and place it for yourself. There's a couple clips that I'm just going to let run together, and you'll get a little taste of it in both of them.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that?
What? 64 days.
You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Vacation time. What the? So do all union people speak like that? I'm just.
What even is that? What is it?
I don't know. What is? I don't know what language she's speaking. What is it? Is it? Somebody says it's James Carville's accent. So I don't think that's a New Orleans accent.
Well, she was in Michigan, and then she gave that exact same speech in Pennsylvania like hours later, and she didn't have the accent.
I was going to say, did she know she was in Michigan? Because they don't speak like that in Michigan. I don't.
That was bizarre.
I don't know if she knows that, but it's very different. She should have asked Eminem how they speak in Michigan.
And then you guys, here's what else she said at her rally.
We have dreams. We can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been.
No. Get the hell out. She did not.
She did.
Oh my God. I did not see that. I didn't see that this weekend.
I know. I just saw it this morning and I laughed so hard.
That was a gift, Mock. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That was a Tuesday gift. You guys, unburdened. We're unburdened. So nice.
And then after the news broke that those 6 hostages were executed, she was getting out of her motorcade onto Air Force 2 to go to one of these rallies, and reporters were screaming questions at her because obviously this is something that they wanted her to address. She pretended, you guys, this is so freaking fake, but she pretended that she was on the phone. And so she couldn't talk to anybody.
To reporters. Yeah, she was dodging reporters. Mm-hmm.
And so you guys just have to watch. And then there's a screenshot of what she was doing at the top of the stairwell because she's wearing earbuds. Okay, so when you're on the phone and you're wearing earbuds, you don't have to go like this. Like you don't have to because you have the earbuds in. So you
Right.
don't have to also do this. That's how you know it's fake. So first you'll see the video, and then you'll see the picture that someone snapped of her at the
Oh
top
my
of the stairs.
God.
She's very important and very busy, you guys. On the phone. I can't be bothered. I'm talking. I'm speaking. Super important.
I mean, seriously. No, she's not speaking to anybody. There's
I'll
nobody.
turn around and wave, but I can't talk to you because I'm on the phone. Can't you see that I'm on the phone?
I can't deal with you right now. Who's gonna tell her? That's like the greatest thing. It's kind of like, do you guys remember in the movie is it Christmas Vacation, where Clark Griswold goes into his boss's office and the boss, is getting all the presents and everything. He's like at the way other side of the room. He doesn't want to talk to him. And so he picks up the phone. He pretends to be on a call. He's like, get me anybody on the phone. It's basically what she did. She pulled a get me anybody on the phone. I don't want to talk to these reporters.
It's so great.
It's so great.
So great. And then there's her buddy, Tim Walz, who is being accused of being in the pocket of unions. But he is not in the pocket. He would like you to know that he is the pocket, you guys. He's now a pocket.
He's a pocket.
He's a pocket.
I can remember, and this was one, Republicans came up to me in one of my campaigns, and they said, Tim is in the pocket of organized labor. I said, that's a damn lie. I am the pocket. I am the pocket.
He's a hot pocket. He's a hot pocket. Come in here. I'm hot. I'm a pocket.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He wants everybody to come into his pocket. He's the pocket. He wants to hug everybody. He's Tim. He's the hot pocket. Come in here. I'm a hot pocket. I'm really folksy, you guys. Come in here into my pocket. This guy is such a weirdo. He's weird.
He's weird. He's totally weird. And so too is his wife, which you'll see in just a second. But also, if you guys are not listening to the Megyn Kelly podcast, it's already out. She released an interview with a bunch of military folks who served with this pocket and
with the hot pocket.
With the hot pocket. And so they had some things to say. Here's just a teaser for the full episode, but obviously watch the whole thing when you get a chance. Here's the teaser.
Why did you come forward?
It is morally indefensible. He didn't care. It was all about him.
He's a military impersonator. I don't understand how he could do it morally, or he's got absolutely no integrity. The rumor went across the state that he had quit, and it was like, who the hell does that? I mean, it was just unbelievable that a CSM abandoned his troops, 500 soldiers basically, but beyond that, there's 1,000 parents out there that expect that person to lead those people into combat.
He's a habitual liar. He lies about everything. He lies about stuff that doesn't make sense. You're taking a piece of their thunder and you're trying to capture it and put it in a bottle for yourself and use that for your own benefit.
He basically said, I've got better things to do. Go pick somebody else to go on a mission. Well, if you sold out your guard unit and abandoned them, I mean, what are you going to do at the national level?
Fear is a reaction. Bravery is a decision. And Walz has made the wrong decision. He's not brave. I call him a coward because he is.
You can totally see that, right? But I mean, on top of that, like, not only is he a liar and he's not brave, and people will probably get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. He took benefits from the American people, the American taxpayer, and then he said, screw you, when it was time for us to cash that in, frankly. You know what I mean? Because he says, I served for 24 years. Well, that is on the taxpayer dime. And then when it was time for him to go and do the brave thing that we, basically pay him to do, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So that's not okay either. It's not okay.
No, it's
because
not.
he signed up to do that. And so, it's, you don't get to pick and choose that, right? I mean, you signed up to do that. And that sucks. That totally sucks.
Well, and even if he, and I totally agree with you, but even like beside that point, if you do make the choice to not go because you're a pocket loser,
Don't say that you won.
Yeah, don't say that you achieved the status or rank that you freaking didn't, and then continue to use that over and over and over again to elevate yourself. You don't get to do that.
Right. And that's precisely what he did. So he's the worst kind of person. The worst kind.
The worst pocket ever.
And I'm glad that people are speaking out and saying this is who he is, because they will try. I mean, the schmucks on the left will try so hard to package him as somebody that he's not. He's not that person. He's a coward and he's a liar.
He is a big fat liar. He's a lying pocket. Also, speaking of people speaking out, another one of those people who has vaguely spoken out, but not like 100% spoken out, is Tim Walz's own brother, who people tracked down on Facebook. And it was right after Trump had been indicted, or like one of the court cases blew up or whatever, last March. And Jeff Walz, his brother, had put on his Facebook page, "We've just become a third world banana republic." And people found that recently, and they've been commenting recently on it. This one, Tiffany said, please speak up. Your voice matters. It would be so helpful at this pivotal moment in history. There are about 80 million of us who would stand behind you. And there were a couple different people who were asking him to go more public. But he said that he hasn't spoken to Tim in 8 years. He's 100% opposed to all of his ideology. He says, my family wasn't given any notice that he was selected and denied security the days after. So he's nervous about being more public.
Wait. He's saying that he's denied security,
right? Which I don't know if that's typical for brothers for siblings to get it anyway.
I don't know either. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But then somebody else said, "Help MAGA get on stage with Trump," and he said, "I've thought hard about doing something like that. I'm torn between that and just keeping my family out of it. The stories I could tell, not the type of character you want making decisions about your future." He has refused all interviews. Every outlet that has tried to get a hold of him has responded. He's saying, "I'm not doing any interviews." So that's the most probably that we're going to hear from Jeff Walz.
Yeah, I would, because listen, like, this could go both ways, because RFK's family has spoken out against him and they've said, "Oh, he's a terrible person, blah." And we're like, "You suck. You're a bunch of weirdo Kennedys," right? And then, we've talked about, like Mary Trump and her loser son or brother, whoever that is, that's spoken out against Trump because they just want to make money.
Right.
So there's a part of me that I kind of like the fact that this guy is not jumping on the bandwagon, getting out there and being like, I'm going to say all the things and try to, I don't even, for whatever gain he wants to make. Like, he's not out there trying to make money off it. He's not trying to get notoriety. I like the fact that he's staying quiet, mainly because he wants to protect his family. I respect that. I think it speaks louder doing what he's doing, because he's like, this guy is a freaking loon. He's my brother. Oh, the stories I could tell, but I'm not going to tell them because I care more about my family than I do notoriety or money or any of those things. So that should make everybody, left or right, go, dang, something is up with this Walz guy, and we need to think twice about making him vice president. That should mean more. The fact that he's not out there trying to make a buck or whatever,
I wouldn't be horribly surprised if he does end up doing an interview. I guess we'll just have to see what he says. But if that happens, like, the left has already decided to write this rule book the way it is, and they say it matters what family members say about the candidate. With your examples, with Kennedy, it matters. With the Trump sister, it matters. So this has to matter because that's according to their rules. So if we're going to play their rules, they're going to have to own this too.
Yeah, I would tread lightly if I were him, because they will try to destroy him.
Oh yeah, they will.
They will try to destroy him and his family. And if it were me, that would be a tough call, because I get it. It's like, and I am the black sheep of my family. So I understand, like, that's why I have such empathy for somebody like an RFK or whatever, or even a Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I get it. There's people are going to come at you. And so I see it from both sides, and he just needs to be careful in deciding how he wants to do that. But I believe him. I'm sure his brother is a complete loon, and I'm sure he does have stories. And I totally believe him when he says that, you know, he's probably not fit to make any of these decisions for the country. But I believe that yesterday. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and also we don't know if he even knows that his brother is a pocket.
A hot pocket.
That could be news to him.
It's true.
Speaking of Tim Walz, his wife Gwen was speaking to a teachers union and decided to get super weird at the end, the tail end of her speech, trying to get the crowd to come together in a chant about, like, you know how Tim Walz has tried to make that mind your own damn business, like that folksy way, like he's trying to do this at all of his rallies. Now she's picking up on that. And then, but at first she says business. And I don't know why she says it that way. It's kind of weird. But they're just such an odd pairing.
They are very, very odd.
And the amount of Botox that she has had in her forehead, like it's gotten, like, it's one thing to like go, you know, make these wrinkles go away, which obviously I don't.
I know. I have a lot up here too. I know. I know.
We don't do the Botox, but to do it to the point where your skin shines because it's so immovable.
There's a lot of that.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, just enough already. Here is Crazy Gwen. It's gleaming.
So let me use my teacher voice.
Oh, yay.
English teachers, you know what these babies are for.
They're readers. Everybody knows what they're for.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of, it's not just
mine.
English teachers.
Mr. Vance, how about you mind your own business?
Business.
Okay, you don't have to put your glasses on, but try with me in your teacher voice. Mr. Vance, how about you mind your own business? Yes.
Oh my God. So she had to put her glasses on to do that? She had to she had to put her to read that. She had to put her This is the kind of teacher that my daughter would come out and she'd be like, I don't like this lady, Mom. Like, I'm going to have a hard time getting through the semester with this chick. Yeah.
I mean, what a weirdo. God.
She is weird. Again, with the weird, it's the projection. Everybody else is weird. No, actually, you're the problem. It's you. It's you and your husband.
Yeah. Just bizarre. In Philadelphia, at several different bus stations, there were these posters that were put up, and it's a mystery at this point how they got put up, but there were these posters that showed Kamala dressed up as a Philadelphia Eagle, and it says Kamala, official candidate of the Philadelphia Eagles. So naturally, a lot of pro-Trump folks were like,
why?
Excuse me? Is this real? What's happening? Eagles, can you comment? And they ultimately did comment and said, we're aware of counterfeit political ads that are being circulated and are working with our advertising partner to have them removed. And there were all kinds of videos of people like taping up this response, like copied over and over and over again, and then plastered over the top of those Kamala posters. Cause this is like, that's like illegal for the teams to do this kind of shit. So,
but it also seems like a lot of work for somebody to do that just on the down low as a counterfeit thing like that.
Right.
And it didn't look like her at all. Side note, but that just seems like somebody put some effort into that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know, but if you're an Eagles fan, just be okay with the fact that this isn't real. Like, they did not have anything to do with it.
That's crazy.
Also, Nancy Pelosi was on with Bill Maher, and he did a dig at her about the fact that she's the one that engaged in the coup. Essentially, she's the one that made Biden step aside. And you have to look at her face. You got to check out the smirk. She knows that he's right. Everybody knows that that's what happened, but she still has to, kind of dance her way around that. But I found it really interesting that he said it basically like, we know that you helped. And her reaction was just so oddly Nancy. You'll see what I mean.
Many times when I'm encouraging people to run, especially more women, to run for office, nothing more wholesome than our political process than that.
Really?
We're excited about
Yes, and sometimes you're discouraging people to run. We're not going to get into that.
no,
whatever.
People make their own decisions.
Absolutely they do.
Okay.
Absolutely they do. And
Was that a wink? Did you see that? I'm going to rewind.
whatever.
People make their own decisions.
Absolutely they do.
It was a
Absolutely
yes, that was a
they
wink.
do.
He winked at the audience. He did wink at the
I
audience.
just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for what you didn't do.
Gross.
Last question. But when Joe stepped down, did you want it to be an open convention as opposed to going right to Kamala?
Well, here's the plan. Kamala, it was open. Anybody could have gotten in. She wrapped it up. You have to give her credit for that.
I do, totally.
So
and
full
the
of crap.
Democratic Party, you know what? That's the smartest thing they did. Because they just had a big internal fight. They couldn't afford another one. They would have looked like we always think, oh, they're disorganized, and they just got their you-know-what together. Thank you so much.
Way to cover her, Bill Maher.
God, just disgusting.
Way to cover. I know, right? It's like and the reason that she winks and she has that stance that she has is because she knows that she has all that power and she loves it. She's eating it up.
Yeah,
it's gross.
because if she outright denies it, then she denies having that power to some degree.
Right.
But she doesn't want to. She doesn't want it because she loves it. She thrives on it.
Oh, she absolutely loves it. She's just like rolling around in it. She just thinks it's the greatest thing ever, you know? This is and it is antithetical to everything that America is. Who that lady is and how much money she has and how much power she has. Our founders are rolling in their graves when they see that broad. She's so gross.
Speaking of Biden and being pushed out, he's lost it even more so than he'd already lost it. So he introduced Kamala at one of these rallies and he told a story. You can see her standing behind him. She's got that face where you can tell she's a little bit nervous about where this story is going. It doesn't really go anywhere except that he says, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. No, I'm serious.
Don't jump.
Like 3 times during the story until the end where he says, I'm just joking. I'm just like, okay, so is it a joke or not? I don't know.
What are you doing? Yeah.
But you'll just have to listen to the story if you can even understand a single word of it. He is so far gone, you guys.
Remember when my great-grandfather was only the second Catholic elected statewide to the state Senate here in Pennsylvania. And I remember they talked about when they're running against him in 1906, they said, guess what? They said he's a Molly Maguire. You know what a Molly Maguire was? Well, those of you who don't, a Molly Maguire, back in the old days, when the Irish and the Catholics came, and then the Poles and others that were Catholic, when they came to the United States of America in the beginning of the 1840s, and late 1840s, they made their way down into Pennsylvania. A lot of them, and there's a tier in the coal mines. Those guys who got there last ended up being the last people in the coal mines. But a lot of the English owned the coal mines. And what they did was they'd really beat the hell out of the mostly Catholic population that was in the mines. Not a joke. Not a joke.
Not a joke.
But there was a group that called the Molly Maguires. And the Molly Maguires, if they find out the foreman who was taking advantage of an individual, and they'd literally kill him. Not a joke. And they'd bring his body up and put him on the doorstep of his family.
What is happening?
Kind of crude. But I got to admit, they accused my great-grandfather of being a model where he wasn't. But we were so damn disappointed. You know, that's a joke. That's a joke. Look.
That last thing was a joke. Did you see the lady next to him? She was like, what is even happening? Get me off the stage. I can't get out of here soon enough. Even Kamala was like, oh, geez.
Oh, my God. This is just crazy, you guys.
Oh, my gosh.
Did we mention that today's going to be a long show?
It's going to be a long show, you guys. We can't make it too long because we've got to.
I know. I mean, it won't be
out of here.
We'll definitely be done by the top of the hour, but like it could.
Yeah, because we've got
sneak
Sean
over to
Spicer
that.
today. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going to be on Sean Spicer's show, so make sure to check that out later today.
Should.
There's been question, particularly about last week when we talked about Trump getting all socialist with his "we're going to pay for IVF for everybody," and then also having that bit of a rough answer when it came to Amendment 4 in Florida and how he intended to vote on that abortion bill. It was rough for particularly Christians of deep faith. Last week, we saw a lot of folks saying, I can't vote for him now. He's crossed a line. Like, it's over. I'm not voting for him. So there is a priest who has a message specifically for those people. And I thought it was well worth a listen. It actually comes in two parts because he addressed IVF, the IVF stuff specifically, which the Catholic Church is against IVF altogether. But he wanted to address particularly people who were perhaps going to vote for Trump and who now won't because of his comments last week. This is awesome.
Hi, friends. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here of Priests for Life. Often voters are faced with a situation where, for moral or other reasons, they don't like either of the candidates in a race. And naturally, the first thought is, well, I'll choose the better of the two. But then some feel like that's choosing evil. They don't want to choose the lesser of two evils because we're never supposed to choose evil. But brothers and sisters, if you choose the better of the two candidates, you are choosing to limit evil, and that's a good. Think of a runaway train going down the track. You can't stop the train. But what if you could shift the track? Now, at the end of both tracks, it's going to hit something, it's going to damage something. But if you know that less damage will be done at the end of one track than the other, can you switch the train to the track where it will do less damage? You're not choosing to do that damage. That's beyond your intention or your control. But you've chosen to lessen the damage, and that's a good. Brothers and sisters, voting is not canonization. Voting is not a marriage proposal or a declaration that you agree with a candidate on everything. It's a tool. It's a chess move in a long game, in a world where we're trying to advance good amidst a lot of imperfection. Don't miss your opportunity to advance some good.
We're not in an ordinary election here. The House is burning down, okay? The Democrats are going to destroy this country, our Constitution, our freedom of speech. They're going to throw us in jail because of the things that we believe. If you don't believe that, do your homework. But brothers and sisters, when a house is burning down, I want a firefighter who can put out the fire. I'm not going to ask the firefighter his position on IVF or anything else, frankly. The team I'm choosing is between those who are setting the fire and those who are putting it out. And that's what we've got to focus on in this election. And President Trump is our firefighter.
That's a great way to look at it.
Right? I thought so too.
Yeah, it's a great way to look at it. So many people, though, are focused on windows when the house is on fire. Don't focus on the windows or the broken windows.
Yeah. I mean, that we'll get to that, but we have an emergency here.
We got to put the fires out.
Right.
You know?
And then Trump actually said that, and I don't know if this was him correcting himself, if he just, I don't know what happened between last week and this weekend, but he did say that he is going to vote the right way on Amendment 4.
Agreed with that right from the early primaries. When I heard about it, I disagreed with it. At the same time, the Democrats are radical because the 9 months is just a ridiculous situation where you can do an abortion in the 9th month. And, you know, some of the states like Minnesota and other states have it where you could actually execute the baby after birth. And all of that stuff is unacceptable. So I'll be voting no for that reason.
Perfect. So there it is. He, that's
somebody. Yeah. You're happy with that?
I'm very, very happy with that.
Good.
That was the right answer. And I love what Blair White said. She said, if Trump was going to destroy America, he would have done it in his first term. If Kamala was going to help, she would have done it in her first term.
Right.
And I thought, that's a good reminder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody keeps thinking that he's going to be some sort of dictator. And it's like, have you been around? Like, were you there when he was president already, right? And he didn't become a dictator. So they they keep trying to change who this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to me how they do that. But okay, they try to rewrite history, and I guess that's what Democrats are famous for anyway. So
yeah. He also did a talk. I think this was with Moms for Liberty, actually. And it was so funny. There's a couple of really cute moments of him. One where she was asking about what advice he would give to other people seeking public office. And it was just, I just thought it was cute the way that he answered this question, especially when he starts talking about TDS. You guys are going to love this moment.
Did you ever think about running for office at other times in your lives? And then just some advice, because you come under fire a lot. Our moms are standing for things that often the media attacks them on. We'd love to get some advice from you about running for office.
Yeah, so I would say don't do it.
Run for office. We want you to run for office.
I do say this, though. It is nastier to run as a Republican. It is. Now, I'm the ultimate, they suffer from a thing called TDS. Do you know what that is? Yes. TDS, it's a horrible, horrible terminal disease. It destroys the mind. It destroys the mind before the body, but the body eventually goes. TDS is Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh my God, it's so true. He's 100% correct.
I just love that. Loved it.
It's so true.
And then she wanted to see if she was doing his YMCA dance correctly. And this was another moment that I just thought, this is so cute, because nobody does the dance like he does.
Barbara Walters.
Look at her. Oh my God, that's so great.
Wasn't that the greatest?
It's so great. We would have, God, he needs to come to one of our meet and greets. We would get down with him.
Yeah, I could do that dance with him.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I would Elaine Bennis it out,
Okay, I think we're good on time. So we're going to go ahead and catch you guys up on another story that we did last week, which was about the Venezuelan gangs taking over Aurora, Colorado apartment buildings. And there is a specific city councilwoman of Aurora who we showed last week, who is the one that tried to get this story to the masses, right? And in response, Governor Polis actually tried to say, am I saying it right? Is it Polis? Polis? Whatever. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He was trying to say that she was just imagining it, that she's like Looney Tunes or something.
Can you believe that?
It's ridiculous. And so there was an Aurora citizen who I think has since left one of these apartment buildings, who was there to set the record straight. And she was criticizing the governor for being such an a-hole about this. Here she is.
Councilwoman Jurenski, who has been amazing. My first conversation with her, she said, do you still live there? And I said, yes. And she said, I'm going to get you out of there.
Wow. So
she said, I'm going to make it my work.
So you're singing her praises. In the meantime, the office of Governor Jared Polis is saying she's making all of this up. Listen to what his spokesman said. According to police intelligence, this purported invasion, I guess, of these apartment buildings is largely a feature of Danielle Jurenski's imagination. What do you say to that?
You can't fake video, and Polis wouldn't last 5 minutes on that property.
She's so right. I heard the Hells Angels are on their way.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos about that. I don't know what the status of it is, but there were all kinds of videos going around suggesting that they were going to take on the gangs.
Well, I mean, the government won't do it. When they say it's a figment of your imagination, can you imagine seeing that through your little peephole? You see that, I would be terrified. And she's right. That guy wouldn't last 5 minutes. He wouldn't last, because he's got probably like a nice border wall around his gigantic mansion. I mean, these people, how horrible is it for them to discount these people when their number one job is to keep her safe?
Yeah. But that's exactly what he did. Danielle, what is it? Jurenski, I think is her name, the city councilwoman. She was on with Kayleigh McEnany to talk about this.
Wow. Here's
Not
what
5
Danielle.
minutes.
Here's what Danielle said about it. Listen to this.
I absolutely did not make any of this up. I love that is how our governor has quickly rushed in to say that that's the actual problem here. But the actual problem here are his weak policies that have turned this state into a breeding ground for this gang activity.
Cindy, why do you think the governor's office has got its head stuck firmly in the sand over this issue?
I wanted to say something else.
They don't want to admit that they're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle, I just want to put up those statements for our viewers. A governor's office calling you out by name twice, saying that you are imagining this. It seems like Governor Polis is more interested in going after you than the alleged Venezuelan gangs.
That's right. I mean, that's what this has turned into, is complete political football. And now he is so focused on me, even though he heard for himself from Cindy Romero earlier. I know he heard what she had to say. So now Coloradans are speaking out about the terror, the fear that they lived in, their cars filled with bullet holes. And yet the governor is still only talking about me. I haven't heard from him or anybody what the plan is to address this transnational gang. He now is fixated on, I guess, attacking the whistleblower.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. People are saying that the Hell's Angels thing is not happening. It's fake. That was fake. But
Okay.
I mean, because I couldn't find an actual news story on it. I saw like one thing where it was a rumor over the weekend. I really wish they would do it. God, I wish they would go and just like clean this place up. And I wish somebody would go in there and just clean house, deport every single illegal out of there. That would be the hope, right? But they're not going to do this. This is what happens when you have a sanctuary city. This is what
Exactly.
happens.
And Polis is trying to push this back. I mean, now he's saying, oh, yeah, I'm taking it totally seriously. But now he's trying to push it back on the local police. Here he is.
Local officials near Denver say Venezuelan gang members are taking over apartment complexes in the area. They're calling on you to act. They're criticizing your office for dismissing the story as, quote, imagination. Out front, obtaining this video from a resident, Cindy Romero, showing gunmen, including with a semi-automatic weapon outside of her door. Romero says that she called police when she saw the gunman, but they said they couldn't do anything unless something happened. There was actually a shootout at one point. Bullet holes ripped through her and her husband's cars. Local police confirmed the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua is committing, quote, isolated crimes in the area, as they put it. Is this something that you need to take more seriously?
Oh, we've taken it very seriously. Weeks ago, I convened the city of Aurora with the state and federal government. Look, it is completely illegal in Colorado to take over and occupy a building. And Aurora Police Department's on the front lines. If they need our help, I've told the mayor, I've told the police department, the state is ready to assist your police department if it's above and beyond your capabilities to do that. If the people alleging this have more evidence, please bring it forward, give it to Aurora Police Department. The state of Colorado takes these kinds of threats very seriously.
How much more evidence do they need?
Yeah,
that video is pretty telling.
Yeah, he's got to take it super seriously when he's not making videos of his own of him singing Feliz Navidad. It's like, this guy is such a joke. Swear.
I mean, ridiculous. Also, this ad, it'll say at the end of it who's responsible for the ad, but this is another just super damning ad against Kamala with respect to her border. I mean, her being the border czar and failing mightily at it. Check this out.
I was a Kamala Harris supporter. That changed after an illegal alien murdered my son, running him over, then driving back and forth over Drew's body 3 times. The man who killed my son had been arrested previously, but Kamala Harris let him go. As San Francisco's DA, Kamala was soft on crime. As a senator, she supported releasing criminal aliens back into our neighborhoods. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You can watch like just videos upon videos upon videos of people talking about this sort of thing, where these criminals are in our communities and they rape, they murder, they do all sorts of awful things. And they get arrested, they get deported, they come right back over the border and they do it again. This is what happens. It's America. Yeah, because of lax border policies. It needs to change. And I hope when Donald Trump takes office, he changes it.
Yeah.
Close the freaking border.
For real. My God, enough already.
Yeah.
Back to that Bill Maher Pelosi interview. He also brought up to her, I mean, you saw him fawning over, thank you so much for not doing that thing that you did. But he also pushes her on one of these new California bills that's saying, we're going to help illegals with home ownership, which is just, it's just so bonkers. And yet that's what they're doing. So he called her out on it to ask about, is this a blueprint for what's going to happen in the rest of the country? And this is just amazing that she talks about it out loud as a positive thing.
California lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a different place than the Democratic Party used to be on immigration, is it? Now, I'm not going to say that's what the country's going to do, but that's certainly where California is.
Well, let me just say, immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to more people. But
oh my God.
California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. But we're very blessed here with beautiful diversity.
So you'd vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before you were a citizen. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented.
Oh my God. So making,
yes,
she said it. So making housing, I guess, affordable. When she says affordable, it's free. They're getting it for free. They're getting a handout from American citizens who can't afford homes.
Yeah, I forget what the deal is exactly. Like, I don't know if it's a cash. It's like a no down payment, or if it's a cash assist. I think it's a cash assist. It's a certain amount. I mean, I got kids who live in California and they do well, and they can't afford a house. Yeah,
this is outrageous. And you know what? They're not illegal. Right. They've never broken the law. They've
contributed to American society.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So have I. I've never gotten a handout. I mean, it's like, aren't you guys sick of this crap? Because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of paying for everybody else's crap. I'm really sick of paying for criminals. I don't think I should have to pay for criminals. I shouldn't have to pay for people's crap, but I definitely shouldn't have to pay for criminals, especially those who bust over our border with their hands out.
Exactly.
Enough is enough.
God. Here is a great, just to cap off this discussion, and then we'll get to Schlong, which I think you're going to really enjoy today. Just make sure you have ear bandages close by. That's your teaser for that. There's one video, one video that we wanted to share of just a perfect explanation for the idiots out there who are too dense to get this, why we actually have borders.
It's important to remember that borders aren't just lines on a map. Those invisible lines are the equivalent of having walls and doors in your home. Without them, anyone could just walk right in, eat your food, rearrange your furniture, even walk off with your stuff. Imagine the chaos. Your privacy is invaded, your belongings are up for grabs, and your entire sense of security is out the window. Borders define where our home ends and the next begins, ensuring that we can maintain order, manage our resources, and protect our culture. They tell others that here we do things our way. Without borders, we'd be in a world of chaos where nobody's safe to simply live in peace. They're the rules of the game, the boundaries that allow us to coexist without turning the whole world into a free-for-all where might makes right, and the only rule is finders keepers. Now ask yourself, why exactly would anyone want to open the borders that protect our very way of life? Who exactly would want millions and millions of strangers who don't speak our language or share our values wandering our homeland? The answer is those who seek to destroy our way of life. For the love of God, don't give them that power. Vote for President Trump and ensure that our beloved America, land of the free and home of the brave, survives.
not good?
Amen.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I'm just like, I'm so over it, you guys. Deport them all.
For
so
real.
over it. So over
enough
it.
already.
Enough already.
All right, it's time to schlong. You guys do not know how to prepare your ears for what you're about to
There's
face.
going to be mad people. You realize there's going to be so many people who are mad at this.
I know. I mean, like the Bonnies of the world.
Bonnie's going to be pissed.
Bonnie's going to be pissed. And the Bonnies of the world who are, if you are a person who cannot tolerate any criticism of Trump, you need to understand that you're in a cult, because every single human on the face of the planet screws up. And it's okay for us to talk about those things without being anti-Trump or whatever.
But this isn't Trump. This is just somebody in his family.
But this is by extension, it's about Trump, right? Because it's somebody in his family.
So
and people,
dumb.
But there are people who are so entrenched in that cult mindset that they will convince themselves that Lara Trump can sing.
Yeah.
And you guys,
she can't. Listen, this is when she needs a really good best friend, because if I got on a stage and started singing, I was like, I'm going to make an album, Mock. You would be like, for the love of God, no.
There's a lot of things you do really, really well. And actually, you don't give yourself enough credit when it comes to singing.
I'm a terrible singer.
I mean, probably I wouldn't say it's time for you to put out an album.
Terrible singer. Terrible. No, I would never put out an album. She's like, Mock's got a great voice. I have a terrible voice.
No,
I am musically inclined. I just have a terrible voice. I have good pitch, not a good voice.
Well,
yeah.
Lara does not have that friend who is telling her, don't do this.
Spinach in your teeth.
So I guess she has an album. You're going to hear a clip from one of those songs. Listen, the thought is lovely. It is a song dedicated to first responders. That's great. It's a duet with someone who actually can sing, who isn't part of this clip, because this is her part. She comes in on the second verse, Lara does. And aside from just the amount of auto-tune that it's necessary to use to get her pitch to be okay, it's just bad, you guys. It's just bad.
Without your bravery, we're all out of luck. No, this can't be denied. You gotta be special. It takes a lot to put you last and everybody first.
Oh, no. No.
You know what she should do? Here's what she should do. Again, if I was comms director, I would be telling her, you should come out with fitness videos.
Yes.
I would watch those. I would watch them because, I mean, she's like, God, she's such a badass in the gym.
Oh, my God.
If she came out with
fit.
Right? If she came out with a line of fitness videos or a line of fitness equipment, whatever, just like fitness everything.
On that, she has credibility.
Right.
Singing, though,
I know.
No,
this is the thing. I know.
So John Burke tweeted, "This is a clear display of not having anyone in your inner circle willing to tell you the truth regarding your talent." But the reviews of the album just got really, 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 really bad. There was this from the Daily Beast. The new highly auto-tuned vocals from the RNC chairwoman are being compared to a, quote, sack of rusty cans being thrown into an industrial wood chipper.
That's going to leave a mark.
That was harsh.
Going to
leave
leave
a little
mark
bit harsh
right there.
And this cracked me up.
Oh my God, the ear bleeding.
So if you're listening and not watching, it's a picture side by side of Lara from her new video and then Trump's ear just being shot off.
That's just so harsh.
Oh my God. And then there were these dudes. I guess these dudes, I don't know who these dudes are. Okay. But they interviewed her, or they had her on their podcast. They were clearly involved with the production of this song. And these people are the reason that she continues to believe that she can do this. And she can't, you guys, but they're pumping her up and you'll hear it.
So we found out that, you dabble in music and you started working with music, and this song fits you. You know what I mean? It fits our country. And like, we were so honored to actually have you, one, find the time, you know, to meet up with us in the studio in New York, and also be able to do such an amazing job, you know, working with our producer, Brad Cox. I know that it's hard to do things in the studio sometimes, but you nailed it. And we think that everybody's going to love this song. You got a tremendous, beautiful voice.
Thank you. Yeah, when it's not hoarse, when I'm not overusing it.
Is he identifying as a narwhal? What is he? I feel like I'm watching Elf. Like at the beginning.
No, what was that?
What's happening at the beginning? What is that? Again, I was so distracted. I can't with all the hair and the Narwhalian features on people's heads. I can't get past all the hair today with these dudes. What's going on? Does anybody have normal hair anymore? What's going on with you dudes?
Somebody edited the music video and made it so much better. It actually took me back to our radio days, this new version of it.
Without your bravery, we're all out of luck. No, this can't be denied. You gotta be special.
The freaking goat, you guys, when we were on the radio, we had Screaming Goat Disco Fridays, and like there were so many screaming goats. It was great.
My God.
You had to love it.
Unless you think that song was a one-off and that maybe she sounds better.
There's a whole
other
album?
songs.
Is there a whole album of songs?
I assure you, anything is possible, as she says in this single.
Don't think, just jump. You can't give up. Know that anything is possible.
It's just awful. It's so bad.
Listen, anything is possible, Mock. Anything. All right.
So bad.
I feel like I can go become a supermodel now. I feel like the sky's the limit. She can become a singer. I can do.
Oh God. People are. There's somebody saying, "Are you jealous?"
Yes, she's jealous.
So desperately jealous.
Somebody said that
like that.
Somebody said they'd rather hear Screaming Huskies. We're going to actually come out with a Christmas album, the two of us, and it's going to feature Screaming Huskies. It's going to feature them.
I mean, it's like she's wearing nose plugs that people wear for swimming while she's recording the album. Does she not hear that?
No,
it's so
no,
bad.
because no, and the narwhal's not going to tell her. The narwhal's not going to.
I am an alto, Eugene. It's not that I don't like alto voices. It's that I don't like bad ones. There's a huge difference.
So mad. It's
oh
so,
my God.
It's
yes,
It's Balto is what it is. It's Balto.
I'm jealous of her physical, she looks amazing.
Oh my God, she looks amazing.
I am jealous of that. Her singing voice, no.
Again, come out with a line of fitness stuff. I will buy everything. Seriously.
Everything.
I want to know how she got to be. I'm probably not going to do it. I just want to know how she did it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to work out 4 hours a day like she does, but I want to know.
Thinking about it. I'm not going to do it.
Doc's going to hold her dog's ear. She's going to think about it and watch all the videos while she plays with Ella's ear.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys, we're running out of time because we have to get ready for spicy, but we do. It's time for your double D's, and there's two of them.
Yes, I got double D's here. And my double D's. First of all, these are amazing humans. You guys need to see them. So the first is this girl. She doesn't have arms, and she also beat cancer. So if you think that you're having a bad day and you can't do stuff like sing and create your own album, even though you don't have a great voice.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Look at this chick. She's amazing.
Beautiful. Oh my God.
Right? I love
is incredible.
I loved her so much. Okay. As if that wasn't enough. Look at this guy. I don't even understand this. My brain couldn't compute it. I had to send it to Mock. You guys have to see it too. I don't. What? Watch this.
How?
He didn't even watch the fitness video from Lara Trump. That is amazing. Isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
The human
Completely
body
amazing.
is an amazing, amazing machine, isn't it?
Wow.
I know. I had to share that with you
incredible.
guys. I could not see it alone. Anyways, that's my DD.
All right, it's time for just a few My Pillow talks, and we're gonna start. This is amazing. So this is one mom had this idea of how to teach her kids how to fold t-shirts, and it is freaking brilliant. And I am going to make one of these for myself just because I know how to fold a t-shirt, but like this makes it so much easier. Look at this. It's just a plain old piece of cardboard cut into pieces and taped together, labeled. And then look, flippity flap here, there, boom, folded.
That's super cute.
I mean,
and it makes it fun.
So nice.
It makes it fun for the kids.
Right?
That's super cute. What are we watching? What are we watching right now?
Okay, this cat really wants to drink. I got all cats for you today because
Okay, I
look at
cannot
this.
wait.
I'm standing on his head.
That dude is like, I just long suffering. Oh my God. I can't. It's so great.
And then this is happiness, pure happiness to a little kitty.
What is he hitting? What is it?
She's just a toy, like waving a toy in front of it.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that the cutest?
So cute.
Okay, and then lastly, this may make you rethink having a cat. Sometimes cats can cause
They spaz out.
Oh my God.
They spaz
They
out.
get the zoomies and cause complete mayhem. Here are a few examples.
They're so calm. That guy.
You see him with the jar?
Yes.
He's like, that's going down.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. They would fit in my house. Every single one of those cats would fit in really well in my house because that's basically how my house is with dogs. Gigantic dogs. Freaking
Oh
out.
my God.
Spazzes.
Just amazing. Okay, let's do some quick thank yous. I do have a couple gifts and then we're going to be out of here.
Yeah.
Judy Flood said, of course I didn't. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I need to scroll up. B. Riser said, my sons have red beards and dirty blonde hair, but dude totally had a rug on, referring to Frank Luntz.
Yeah, it
LOL.
was kind of weird.
Osuki said, are those two guys punking Lara Trump about her singing? It didn't seem like it. Like, they seemed genuinely into her.
I mean, there's some people in our comment section that are defending her and they think that her voice is lovely. So,
I'm so deeply envious.
we just hear it differently, I guess. And we give our opinions here on the Chicks on the Right show. So your opinion may differ.
That's exactly right. Judy Flood said, of course, I didn't like Amy Winehouse either. And I would have to rate both of them about the same. I mean, Amy Winehouse was very unique and very interesting songwriter. So I feel like that's different.
Mm-hmm. Also I thought she was talented. I really did.
Yeah. Evitar says Hamas demands that Israel will pay millions to build Gaza. I think we already read that one. Yeah, we did. Jason Decker says no, I already read that one too. I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong spot. Uriel Gonzalez says, Daisy, you're absolutely right. Trump felt sorry for Biden at the debate. There was no point in attacking someone who was barely alive.
Right. He's at death's door, you guys.
The photo in the story says Walz's mouth looks like the first and last thing a proctologist sees at the end of their day. His dentist must have existential crisis after each appointment.
Oh my gosh.
Jose Rodriguez says, I speak jive. If y'all need help translating Kamala's speech, take my money. Morning from Texas. Brenda Matum says, Chicks, the Hells Angels video is fake. I shared it and learned later that it's fake, so I deleted it. Being from Colorado, I wish it was true. All right. Yeah, we hadn't heard any updates.
I wish
about
it was
that.
true too.
Barbara Cozens says, catching you live today from Northern Nevada. Hello, hello. Lady Shenandoah says, prior to being the nominee, Kamala never said she wanted to close the border. She said, quote, we want to put them on a pathway to citizenship. Yep. Just like Nancy said that. And Bruce Wayne says, heard worse right here. No names, of course. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
All right. So that concludes. We need to bring it in because then I'll do a couple of presents for those that don't want to stick around for that.
And I'm going to my post office today. I promise. I know that I wasn't able to go yesterday because it was a holiday, and then I missed it on Saturday because we were out of town. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But bring it in for those of you who want to not stay for this. You should, because I'm about to show some really super cute stuff. The first thing is from Carolyn Kitsky, who wrote about her gift, which you'll see in a second. She said, a gallery owner thought my needle felt owls were magical until I made the mistake of discussing politics with her. She was triggered by my hate speech. She actually used those words and said the owls are now tainted. She also questioned my faith, this coming from a woman who thinks a 2-year-old can determine his or her gender. So enjoy your tainted owls. I named them Deplorable 1 and Deplorable 2, and I actually made a basket of them. So you've got one of these on the way.
Oh my gosh. I love owls. I love them.
Isn't that the coolest?
Yes. So cool. And I absolutely love owls.
So much. And then from Sherry Fox, she just sent the sweetest book. She said, to the mom of Ella and Maisie, and it's When You Love a Dog.
Aww.
And it's just the cutest little book about how
so sweet.
Dogs, when you love a dog, someone waits for you. You're the only one they want to see. It's just the cutest little book. I love it so much. So thank you both
so
for
precious.
those amazing gifts.
So nice. You guys have the best Tuesday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody.